Welcome to Random Thoughts and How I Would Never Trade. I'm not saying you can't do what this guy's doing, but I don't recommend it. And I'll put a link to the auction trading theory in this again. I will put another link to the same video, which I kind of like. Like I said, the guy's as angry as me. And I love the auction theory because it makes the most money. And it has nothing to do with Fibonacci garbage, which is complete garbage. Let's face it. The only purpose of Fibonacci is to reduce the possibility of overtrading, because if you only take the 618 and the 423.6 and the 2 618s and the 68 and the 38, okay, you're down to 5 trades. If your ratios are good, how can you possibly blow up the account other than get frustrated and just annoyed by the fact you're not in on any trades because, well, you got your Fibonacci and everything doesn't line up, the stars didn't align, so you're going to walk away from the trade. I know, it's kind of ridiculous, right? So I go to my favorite bad trader who's selling hand-holding services and coaching services, and let's take a look at what he's up to here.
Hey gang, what's going on? Akil Stokes here. It's about 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. I just put the kiddo to sleep and, well, I'm spending some time in front of the charts. Now, many of you have seen the video I put out a few days ago called 9 Habits of High Achievers, and if you remember,
And that's garbage too, but I won't get into that, because a lot of this stuff is completely anti your own personality. So I just watched his 9 Habits of Highly Successful Idiots. It's complete garbage. You know, I've bought more motivational books than that's been printed, if that's possible. And every time I read these books, being a kind of a stubborn individualist, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not sure I want to go that path. So if that's out of the gate, you're already disturbed by the fact that, well, you should get up in the morning and have a routine and go jogging. And I'm like, okay, I'm already a loser because I didn't go jogging this morning. I really want to put myself in that psychologically crippled position for the rest of my life? I think not.
Those habits was invest in a skill.
Okay, a skill. Well, obviously this guy, love him to death. He did ask at the end of his video, tell me what you think. So I'm telling him what I think. And, you know, Akil, I would have you raise my kids in a second. I would have you coach my varsity basketball team. I would have you do this, that, and the other thing, but I certainly wouldn't have you manage my account because I'd be completely freaking out every time I saw the P&L.
And we talk a lot about trading being a skill, and what that means is you're not born.
The sound you hear is me making coffee. This is only a 6-minute video, and this guy, this trade, I gotta examine this trade from an auction theory standpoint.
With this ability to trade, it's something that you learn, it's something that must be worked on, and like any other skill, the more
I don't know about that. Listen, if you're a musician, if you're 5 years old and you're playing the piano, you're playing the piano. Maybe you're not playing Mozart or whoever the guy that plays piano, but Beethoven, right? Maybe you're not tearing the place apart, but you're playing piano. And as far as skill trading goes, listen, if you're a risk taker, you want to trade. If you're not, all the analysis and all the fib levels and all the outside returns are never gonna make you lose that fear. If you're born fearful, you're hardwired. So if you want to be a trader, just start trading. Open a micro account or a nano account and just start trading. And what you need to do is put on a trade, either take $50. Forget this $49 for this course. Open an account with $50 and just start trading really small and get in touch with the feelings that you have come at you when you're in a losing position and when you're in a winning position. And you just don't want to be elated when you're winning, because otherwise you're going to be suicidal when you lose. That's one thing to focus on. The rest of it, you're going to figure it out real quick, what works and what doesn't. If you're looking to make $1 million from $50, that could be a problem.
more time you spend on it, the better you're going to get. Now, reps in the market is very important. Repetitions. I know I do so many reps each day. I have a morning routine where I do top-down analysis. I then do another round of top-down analysis in my life.
No, that might be a problem. I think you're overanalyzing this stuff. The market's very crude, they're very stupid. Check out the auction video and tell me it's not the dumbest thing you ever saw in your life. It's about inventory. These banks need to move their inventory up and down. And it's not on Fibonacci levels, trust me. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, it wouldn't. If that was true, we could just take this Xenon computer here on the other side of the room. We could throw a damn Gartley bot on that puppy and let that thing just churn out money. It's not going to happen. Nobody's done it, and if anybody's done it, it's impossible. It'd be like you trying to predict the way a tree's going to grow in your yard. Okay, you can kind of predict, hey, you know what, it's probably not going to grow to Jack of the Beanstalk proportions, but come on, it's you cannot predict every angle of every branch that's going to emanate from the tree trunk. It's even though apparently it's a Fibonacci ratio.
I have room, followed by 3 hours of trading on the lower time frames, followed by another round of top-down analysis at night.
Well, you're a hard worker, buddy. Without any mention of volatility. Notice this guy never talks. In fact, I'm looking at the chart right here and now. Thank you very much. You should have been long at the market on these dojis. Anytime you see a doji, it's not about just get in at the market with a hedge, like right on a doji. Just do it. And tell me it doesn't make money. Just tell me that doesn't make money. You're getting in when the market's quiet, low volatility, tighter stops. Hello. Think about it, people.
Sometime after that New York close. And then when I have the free time, I like to go through random charts, meaning pairs that I don't usually trade or look at, and just continue to try to train my eye and see what different situations the market has and how I can approach them. And I found that by doing this on a consistent basis, it's no different than, say, Kobe Bryant being in the gym, the younger Kobe Bryant, I should say, being in the gym, just shooting jump shot after jump shot after jump shot, just staying sharp and trying to get a little bit better.
It's a little different game in that situation. I mean, come on, let's face it, the basketball court is not going to change dimensions in the middle of your playing. Now, if you take the analogy of basketball playing to the market, imagine you're on a basketball court that all of a sudden becomes as big as a football field, and then it becomes as small as the closet, your walk-in closet that you have at home, if you have one of those. That's what trading's like. In other words, you're on a ship of fools. I mean, you're really on this thing that could change dimension. It changes dimension moment to moment. The size of the basketball court is constantly changing. How is that affecting your free throw shots or whatever you just said? It means that the basket is getting further and closer from where your feet are. How is that? I mean, the skill set involved in that is basically like, I don't even know how you compare. I don't know how you can compare that to trading. I guess the only comparison would be if you're a person that trades with a 15 pip stop, that means that you're so many feet from the basket every time you throw that free throw. If you're good at trading, looking to make 60 pips with a 15 pip stop, and that's all you do all day, you look for those setups, okay, I guess there's a correlation, an analogy there. I guess that it translates. But other than that, think about it. If you make one-dimensional change in that basketball court, how is that going to affect every team that plays on that court? And who's not going to show up and go, wait a minute, the officials say that your basketball court is just changing dimensions randomly. Oh, this will just not work for us.
So tonight, I actually want to share it with you. And I'm looking at the Aussie New Zealand right now. And here's what I'm noticing. I noticed that we've just broken a previous level of support here. If I take my horizontal line tool, and finally we get a lower low, lower close.
Well, I didn't even notice that. Now, this is the classic auction trap. If you notice what's going on here, they've trapped all the bears. So, in my estimation of this trade, what you should have done, what he should have done, is, and I don't know why he doesn't get this, and this is a free video for him. I'm going to give him years of trading experience all in one fast, easy, button-up lesson. It's called Buy Low, Sell High. Now, is it just me, or are we missing the fact that down here is where the stops are for the bulls? And he didn't mention trend on here, which I find amazing. We're in an uptrend, right? Because, well, this is a downtrend, but honestly, I'm just using his version of trend. I guess if you went to the monthly and you had a big bullish bar, you'd say it's up. Like, to me, this is a downtrend. As soon as I see that, I'm like, oh, downtrend. As soon as I see that downtrend, I know it's going up in the big picture, but who doesn't want to jump on this? I think this is a 4-hour chart. Okay, so, yeah, buy limits here, right? To get in and then dump here. Dump up here, right? And also the dojis. Why isn't he long? He's had 8 hours to get long this thing. Just, I can't, every time I watch, I don't know why. I watch his stuff, I just completely perplexed by his thinking.
Now, the lower low, lower close principle, we call that a new structure low. And
okay, 1 second. New structure low. Okay, well, are we going to ignore the new structure lows like this one? This is a new structure low. This is a new structure low. This is a new structure low. This is a new low. New low. Oh, it turned around. So how do you trade this thing? Okay, I'm going to give away one of the biggest secrets in trading that nobody talks about. At least I don't see anybody talking about it. So I'm gonna drill down here, and bear with me as I double click this terrible piece of software I bought. Oh, it's working today. Sure, as soon as I complain, buy stop, buy stop, buy stop, buy stop, buy stop, no fill, no fill, this 4-hour chart. Oh, just got filled. Don't recommend this style of trading, but if you want to trade mechanically, you're long this puppy, right? Same thing on the sell side. Sell stop, sell stop, sell stop. This is without, look, man, no Fibonacci. You're short. You're short by default. You're short with order flow. Here you go. Wow, making money. It's crazy. Even this bad fill here. Here's the stop and grab. Okay, you got stopped out, but and if you still had a stop here, which I can't imagine, you even made money on that trade, right? You could also, as it's going down, you could have a stop reverse, buy stop, buy stop. Oh, you got filled. You're long. Oh, got stopped out. Hey, made a couple bucks. Buy stop. Oh, you trapped. Because when it goes into these, when the market's really moving hard, that's when to employ buy stop reversal theory. When the market's going sideways, choppy, it's more of a limit traders. It's more of an auction kind of view. And of course, now we're in auction phase on the, say, the daily chart right now. I can't go to his daily chart, but all right, let's let him speak his piece. He's 2 minutes into this.
if we get a new structure low, then we can start predicting a trend continuation move. So what I would be predicting...
Okay, what is the fucking trend? Down? Trend continuation move. There's no trend on this chart. I mean, if there is a trend, it's up. It's up. This is a 4-hour chart, right? But let's not even think about trend. Why does he set himself up for failure?
Thing here is for the market to continue bearish. Now that doesn't...
Now, certainly he's lost on trades like this, and certainly he's looked back in his journal or like just thought about it and said, that just doesn't seem to work out too good. I gotta think of something else.
Mean it's going to go straight bearish. We could get a retracement as well, as support often turns to resistance. Now the key is, if I'm looking for an opportunity to trade this, I don't want to hop on right now. I want to hop on the retracement, the outside return. So what I want to do in my analysis...
Oh, just hop on now. In fact, if you wanted to hop on this thing in a mechanical style, you would just start putting sell stops, below the lowest low, right, to get picked up in the stream instead of you predicting, which nobody can predict the market, right? Well, you kind of have to within a kind of a range kind of thing. And that's just how it is, you know.
Is I want to figure out where could that
I say predict it, but don't put all your chips in one thing. Predict on a couple with a small position, but in the end, you want to follow the market.
Outside return come to, and where would be an opportunity that I can get short. So one of the first things I notice here is that the market is moving very harmonically. We just put in a harmonic move. So we put in an ABCD pattern.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe he's saying the word harmonic. You know, they're sending out lawsuits to people, or whatever they call them. Copyright infringement. I mean, cracking me up with that stuff, right? But come on, man. Harmonic? Now, this is where projection comes in. And this is where the romance of trading and I guess the candles come in. Because candles are romantic. We all know that. I just don't get this harmonic trading. Okay, show. I'm gonna try this one more time. This harmonic trading
pattern. Many of you guys are familiar with this. It's one of the simple patterns out there.
Oh boy.
Meaning we had an initial move, swing high to swing low. That's going to be our A to B. If I copy and paste that, you can see that the extension here was an equal measure move, meaning that the extension, the second impulse leg, was the same length of our first move. Now, many traders only think that when the market's moving harmonically, it means the AB must be equal to the CD. But actually, when we're seeing some really harmonic movement here, you'll notice that the retracement, the BC move right here, let's go ahead and make this, we can keep it the same color. The BC move right here will also be equal to the next retracement. So we can use that as a tool to kind of predict where this outside return.
Why in the hell are you going through all this garbage when you can see this is the last known bottom that should become a top? Just do this. Why are you overcomplicating this? I guess to sell courses, right? I mean, I know you got to make a living selling, coaching people because you could never make a living trading. And the idea that you're the chief currency strategist, analyst, I mean, it's complete ridiculousness. Like, who didn't have a sell limit up here on the trap, the auction trap? Sell limits here for the trap. Buy limits here for the trap. So we can ride it up. Jesus. What is wrong? Why is this guy missing this stuff?
May come to. Of course, we can follow that up by dragging on our Fibonacci retracement
Holy
tools.
fuck.
Swing high to swing low from our A.
Really? So you're going to stack this crap on here? Oh, I have to make an argument for my dumb trade. Well, they're all dumb trades. We all put on dumb trades. It's about trading a lot. Over trading is the only way to make money. Like he talks about in the other video about, well, double your size. Well, double your trades. Trade the same size, but put on more dumb trades. Because guess what? In a random world, you're going to make money. So who cares?
Leg all the way to our D leg. We're looking at a 382 right at our previous new structure low. We have a 50% and a 618 in there.
Oh, yeah, 50% and a 618. And I put a little bit of butter on the side. And you notice that, well, we actually took your... Well, you know, that's pheasant under glass was pheasant under Pyrex, but same thing.
As well. Let's just take one more Fibonacci retracement from...
Yeah, one more for the Gipper. Hey, I say, you know what? Could you throw another Gartley on top of that like your other guy does, who's the other trade-empowered genius who, I mean, I just gotta laugh. It's just hilarious, man. And this guy's got 16,000 subscribers. What does that tell you? There's a hunger for people. I don't know if it's greed. This guy, you know, I told my parents about this guy. Oh, sure, son. Take that course. Take that trade disempowered course. And you have a passion for trading. That's their tagline. If you got a passion for trading, you're already in trouble. If you have any emotion in this game, And, you know, I got up in the morning, I did my top-down analysis, I even checked the fundamentals. I'm getting my ass kicked in this trade. What the hell's going on?
Swing high to swing low right here. And you can see we're going to get some Fibonacci confluence. We'll get a 618 lining up with
Holy shit, I'm lost already. Keep going.
our 382 and a 786 lining.
786 is kind of one of my favorite. I wrote a book about entering on the 786, and let me tell you something.
Up with our 50%. So we're going to have
50 cent.
two zones that I can look at for potential.
Okay, two zones. Well, two trades, right? For potential entries. Of course, he's a one-position trader. Don't forget, people, this guy's betting the ranch on one idea. Not the ranch, he's betting on one idea. It's almost like he's betting we might as well just bet the ranch, right? I mean, who could deny Fibonacci? Who can't see this as a bear trap?
Shorts here. The main zone is going to come from here. This is going to be the bigger zone. The bigger zone is going to come from our previous structures.
Oh, let's go to the actual chart here. I've got it up here. He's on a 4-hour chart. I'm sorry, I gotta have my coffee. I know you're not supposed to eat while doing a video, but this is drinking. This is different. Like, I am so sure. Okay, yeah. Here is the currency pair that he's on the 4-hour chart. Now, what I noticed right off the bat was, okay, I'm going to zoom in because I can't handle all that. So here is where he's at on the chart, I think. Now, yeah, I think he's right here, right? Now, he said, well, and I said put buy limits in there. So let's see how right I was. Okay, so my buy limits were here, and I got stopped out. Auction theory. Buy limits here, it didn't happen. Now, for mechanical entry, and I would not bet all my money on one limit bet. I'm going to say right off the bat, if you have buy stops here and sell stops here, you just made 50. You made about, what is that, 80 pips? And Fibonacci, there's no Fibonacci in this chart. Now, are you willing to buy at this doji for a buy limit? Yeah. In fact, if I got stopped out of this trap, because this is the floor, right? He's waiting for the outside return, and if he's waiting for his fib, he never got filled. He wasted all his top-down analysis. Complete garbage. Waste of time. And he says in the other video that, I don't know if it's this video or the other video, it's like, you're going to lose. You're a loser. I'm like, thanks for the coaching. Wow, can't wait to start trading with you. You're a genius. Okay, so from a stop entry standpoint, and here's a double top, right? Double top and close, but not in wicks. If you had a sell stop here and a sell stop here, okay, you're up on that trade. So what do you do now? From a mechanical entry standpoint, of course, this is Sunday night. Like I said, this broker. Sunday night is this baby candle. This is Sunday. That's Sunday. So this is Sunday. Last week. So buy stops here, right? You're filled. Yeah, you get stopped out here. But I'm a scalper. I'm actually like this 4-hour chart. I'm not. Like if I was trading this, you got to trade this with 50 pip stops. So if I bought here on the unfair value, and I was swing trading this with a 50 pip stop, maybe my stop's here. Maybe I'm still long, right? But I would never bet, or I'm trailing buy stops here this whole time, trailing buy stops, and finally I'm long, right? Finally I'm long on this. And if I go to the daily chart, which he didn't go to the daily, but I'll go to the daily chart here. And for the stop entry standpoint of daily traders, as soon as this gets, and of course this is a lot riskier because you have to have 100 pip stops in this strategy. But here's my my bear trap. They've trapped these bears here. Now, the trap went deeper, and this is why you got to scale into these, because if I'm wrong here, which I was wrong in terms of, I thought, well, they're come down here, stop these guys out, and then we're going to go up. And this thing is going to the moon, just to let you know. It's not in a downtrend. It's in a serious uptrend. And I did my weekly update. Now, here's the weekly chart. And the reason why this is going to clean house to the north side is take a look at the monthly here. Ask yourself, do you think that this void up here needs to be filled? This big cavernous 2.5 year void? Do you really think this is going to go up here and then it's going to go down and it's going to it might retest this, but do you really think this is going to keep going down? I don't think so. But I'm not going to bet everything on that one trade. Watching the euro go up here. Look at that euro go up. That euro's going to clean house to the north side too. Euro's going to 117, people, just to let you know. It's going to go stop out. Everybody that's got a Stapleton stop at 117. 117, man, that's the top of the wick. All right, so, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. Now, don't you want to be getting long on this 110? And this has nothing to do with Fibonacci. This has to do with the fact that you want to go long on limits like this. Buy limit here based on this last known low. This is support. If you get in this wick zone, you're already up on the trade. And this bottom is supposed to become a top. If that doesn't happen, can anybody see that this is going to rip through this trend line and it's going to rip up to here? And a lot of people are going to take their 100 pips and run. And then maybe it comes back to here, right? But it's going up. It's not a downtrend. Let's be realistic here. And all this chatter here, can you imagine his top-down analysis through all this garbage? When in essence, it's about buy stop. Oh, I'm filled. Buy stops. Oh, trend's your friend. Sell stops. The market's choppy. 80% of it's like this, damn it. There's no fucking trends. Get that trend stuff out of your head and just, I mean, I'm just saying to anybody that's 1,600 subscribers. Are you kidding me? Is this CAD yen going up? Hell yes. How is anybody missing this entry? If you're not long CAD yen right now, then you're not a swing trader. But this thing's going to go up. Look at this thing. Are you serious? Come on, people. Look at this thing. We've already done. Look at these giant wicks. We stomped on this support level. On close, we're turning around. The yen's in trouble. Forget it. The yen's cooked. Put a fork in it. All right. I told myself I wouldn't. I told myself I'd switch to decaf. Sorry. Let me go back to his video. He's got a few more minutes left, but I just can't resist this guy. He just gives me he makes me feel like a winning trader right out of the gate. Mind you, this is the chief currency analyst for disempowered trading.
Support right down here, all the way up to our previous outside returns. That's going to be the main potential reversal zone. Within that zone, I can narrow that down a little bit more to right here.
He's going to narrow it some more. He's going to tweak. This is a big problem I have with this guy. He's going to over tweak one trade. Now go and study Mark Douglas. Hello. Took 7 years to write a book called The Disciplined Trader. Then he wrote other books, Trading in the Zone, of course. It took him 7 years to write that book. And what does he say in there? And what did he say when I saw him and I paid $900 to see him when he was cheap for 3 days in Chicago? He said, at least go into 3 trades, right? Put 3 positions on. So you've got some wiggle room. You can take one off, make one a scalp, pay for the punishment of the whole trade. And what does he say? He says, listen, you have to make a series of trades, 20 trades in a row. You can't just sit there and spend all this time queuing up one trade. And I bet Akel Stokes is such a fool, no offense to fools, that he's going to say, listen, you get good at this, man. You're going to just make, instead of trading a half a lot, trade a standard lot. Now you're going to trade 5 standard lots because you're so good at these things. You're just going to, like, up your size. No, you're not. I mean, you are if you want to end up on the suicide watch list. Just trade more tickets. if you have a store, are you going to just... I sold a Rolls Royce last week. Now we're going to sell the Rolls Royce limousine. We're actually going to sell a bigger car that's more expensive that it will move. It's harder to move that car. Who's making all the money? There was a guy in my neighborhood when I was a kid. And this guy was making so much money. And I said, what does your dad do? He goes, he sells car parts. I go, really? What does he sell? He goes, antennas. I'm like, well, antenna costs about... It's antennas for these cars, when you buy the car, the antenna costs about, it's like 30 cents, He's also selling other parts that are like 0.05 cents a piece, right? I said, well, how's this guy making all this money? He's selling stuff that's like, and this is back when, of course, the dollar was a dollar, so maybe it was a lot of money, but I was like, how's he making all this money? Volume. He's trading a lot. He's getting 5,000 parts at a penny a piece and marking him up to 2 cents. Okay, that's what you do with a micro account. You don't make your tickets bigger. Of course, that would be less work, right? That's a lazy approach. I'll just make a bigger ticket. Why? Work is hard. Or work's work. Work is work, right? If you want to make a bunch of money without any stress... just put on a bunch of small trades.
At our harmonic move.
And this harmonic move shit. Are you kidding me? Talk about... This is terrible. This is worse than you going on a date with a girl and bringing clothes for her to wear. Honey, when we get home, I got a wig for you. I got a schoolgirl outfit. If you could put that on, I'd really appreciate it when we get home after dinner. I did take you to dinner.
To right about... here to this 112 even handle and say that if
and of course 112 even, so couldn't we have just saved ourselves 4 minutes and 36 seconds of complete utter nonsense to just say, yeah, the round number, almost like what the bankers are paying attention to.
And again, I'm assuming I would be trading this tomorrow and going down to lower time frames to look for entry reasons, but if price action comes in...
Why bother, man? This is a garbage setup. Most trading is mechanical. If you just went with order flow, as you can see, my auction theory entry didn't work. Stopped out, right? But I didn't sit there. It didn't take me more than 2 seconds to go, I'm going to put a buy limit down here. I'll see what happens. Next trade. You need to trade a series of trades. You're not going to make money off of one trade.
To this level, this is where I'm going to try and pinpoint an entry reason.
And he's going to try to pinpoint. Come on, man. Put a basket of orders staggered 10 pips apart and walk away. Why in the fuck do you set yourself up for these complete utter... Who's 16,000 subscribers? Apparently, nobody's a trader. They're just subscribers who can't see how ridiculous this is.
And see if there's a way I can get short this.
See if there's a way I can get short. If you're going to sit there and try to convince yourself, and this, when you walk into the market saying it's in a downtrend, I'm looking for a place to get short, you just made your risk 50% larger, because guess what? It could go the other way. Do you have a plan? Do you have a backup plan to go the other way? Are you flexible? Unless you do yoga, right? You're probably not, like, you're a weightlifter. If you're a Mr. I'm a real, nobody tells me what to do, right?
Market.
Be flexible.
So that's just a little bit about how I do predictions in the market.
Predictions. Okay, we have to kind of say, in other words, if you have a target, I guess that's a prediction in a way, but what if your target's not met? Do you have a close all profits or close all pendings? Do you have a bail button? And that's another thing. Complete manual trading here. One position. This is like going out with a gun with one bullet in it and saying, I'm gonna kill me a deer. I'm gonna kill me a bear today. Well, honey, aren't you kind of concerned that after that one arrow leaves your quiver, like you have got one arrow in your quiver, aren't you concerned if you miss? Oh no, I'm really good at this.
Guys, we're not going to talk about where to shoot for targets at or anything.
Yeah, let's talk about targets. You should think targets right out of the gate. His other video, he says, if you don't know the target, then you don't know how to trade. Yeah, the target should be your first idea, right? And this isn't an uptrend. Why is he trying to sell this?
Like that, because that doesn't matter. We get so many traders that ask, well, where do targets go? Well, if you don't know how to get into a trade, if you don't know how to find a trade, it doesn't matter where targets go quite.
Oh, how stupid. How insulting. Okay, I personally feel insulted now. Well, if you don't know how to... Well, yeah. I love that. That's that thing, well, if I have to explain it to you. This is I had an argument with some guy that was into the Heraclitean flux, the philosophy of Kant. Well, how do you know that when you put a twig in a glass of water, how do you know it's not really bent? I mean, it looks bent. It gets to epistemology. How do you know what you know, right? I mean, it's a terrible... What a terrible... To back that up.
Targets go. Well, if you don't know how to get into a trade, if you don't know how to find a trade, it doesn't matter where targets go quite.
Oh, you're going to bore me with those targets. If you don't know how to get into a trade, well, it's a trifle. I mean, if I have to explain it to you, that's what people used to say to me. If I have to explain it to you, that was the intellectual bail point for people to be pseudo-intellectuals. They go, you know what, if I have to explain it to you. No, explain it to me. I just had an argument with a guy yesterday about dentistry, and he's telling me all this stuff, and I said to him, well, what is that? Like, how does that even figure? Like, why are you doing this step here? Like, stop right here. Where is this? And he's just said to me, kind of like that same attitude, oh, do I really have to explain it? I'm like, yeah, explain it to me. Imagine I'm a fucking moron. Explain it to me. And when people say, if I have to explain it to you, it means they don't know themselves. Otherwise, well, wouldn't they just explain it to you? Let me explain that to you. I'd love to explain that to you.
Yet. But really, I just want to show you guys an exercise that I do. I try to do it each and every night. I do it at
an exercise in futility. God.
Some point during the day, but I try to do it each and every night. Just finding a random...
Okay, it's time to get out of this euro here. I already scalped out, but it's pulling back. But we still have the jobs report to come out. Just a side note. It's 5 in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time. Man, we got the wind out here. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Chart, finding a different situation each day, and trying to make a prediction on it.
Okay, trying to make a prediction on it. Every day, I do a top-down analysis. It's a routine. I never get filled, and I miss my entries by 1 pip. But thanks for tuning in. I got 16,000 subscribers. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Sometimes the prediction works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But
well, there you go. See?
Guess what? That's trading for you. You're going to be wrong, and you're going to be wrong a lot.
You're going to be wrong, and you're going to be along a route. Thanks, Coach. So, well, you know what? Why don't you go out there and run, do the 440 run, and you know what? You're going to break a leg, but you're going to break a lot of legs, Just find a really good leg surgeon because you're going to be breaking a lot of legs. Thanks.
In these specific scenarios, we're not actually placing trades, so there's no monetary value associated.
Well, you should, at least on a demo, right? Come on. And why aren't you placing trades? They could be little baby trades. That's how you make money. You make money from volume of trades. 500 trades, 400 winners, right? Let's hope. Let's hope you're not so stupid that you're going to do... And another thing is there's so much data on the screen right now. Who cares about this crap here? Like, unless you're a big position hedge fund manager, who cares about this crap back here? Damn, I just got pissed off with this stuff. Who cares about this crap back here? This is 20 hours. This is like 40 hours of stuff. Really? Come on. I'm only living for the next 4 hours if I don't get hit by a train. Do I really give a fuck about this back here? Whoa, swing high, pull back, swing high. Like, don't tell me all this crap. It has nothing to do with what's going on right now. All that matters now is rights now. Rights now. And you could make these arguments and fib it. No, come on, you're killing me. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It's mental masturbation is what it is.
Just have some fun, relax.
Have some fun. Relax.
Use the skills that you've learned up to this point. And
Well, the skill is execution. I'm going to say this right off the bat. If anybody doesn't know what skill is in trading, it's going like this. Now, if you're not trading automated, it looks like this. This is the skill level. Trading. New order. This is the skill part. To hit this fucking button. If you hit this button raw right now without a stop and take profit with a standard lot, you're like asking for the possibility of blowing up your whole account. Now, if you sat here and tried to go like this, look at stop loss here, take profit. This is the skill part. Boom. There you go. Now let's watch it on the terminal window. Control T. There's my trade. Down $13. Down $13. Turn off commissions. We don't need to know about that. I wish I could turn the swap off. I'm down 19. Oh, I bought at the market. I just had a feeling. So this is a stupid trade, right? And I don't even know my risk to reward ratios because I just did a manual trade there. But that's the skill level. That's where the skill comes in. It's not a skill. Analyzation is not a skill to me. Skill is like a manual thing. And it's about having the ability to execute. And it sounds really silly. It's, well, of course you got to execute to put the trade on. But no, it's really... of course, if you're scalping, the skill is to nail that puppy right at the precise moment in time and then get out in the right precise amount of time. Or that skill of execution, hitting the button. Maybe the skill of drawing a trend line. I guess there's skill in that. But where do you put the trend line? Are you putting it in fantasy mode? Like, oh, it's going to come back like Stapleton's waiting for an entry of 109 on the euro. Okay, the euro's at 113.50. Is he still waiting for 109? Well, it's going to do an outside pullback, outside return. And, oh, I'm up $7. So I could get out right now, right? So here's the problem in trading. Do I get out now? I guess I just made money on that, or I got stopped out. I don't know what happened there. I saw I just went down severely just before that. I didn't even see what happened there. I guess I have to go to the trade history for that. If I can get that to even run on here. I'll go to the trade history here. But account history. I lost $24 on that. If you notice, I was up for a couple seconds there. These are all my pending winners that I did. I started this account with, I don't know what, but I've made $18,000 with a $10,000 account, and these are all of my New Zealand and Australia trades. And this is New Zealand dollar, which is supposed to be going down because, you know, they changed the interest rate there. They lowered it. So fundamentally, it should be going down. Guess what? It's going up. How do you explain that? Well, there's reasons for that. There's reasons for that. Look at this New Zealand dollar. It's been going up ever since they lowered the interest rate, and it's going to keep going up. These are my buy limits, never got filled. But that's my auction entry here. Here's an auction entry that did work. Here's the trap. They trapped the bears. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Now, right now in the Australian, New Zealand, Euro's pulling back here if anybody wants to get long. Wait for it to pull back 20 pips. Of course, it doesn't matter. It's silly to say because by the time you watch this video, the market will be over the map by then. But the one that he's trading here is like, who can't see that this thing is right now? Your buy stops are at the 100-yard line, and 112 was going to be his outside return at 112. Now notice the 4-hour chart is paying attention on close prices only. Forget these candles. Get rid. First thing is take all the candles off your charts, okay, people. Stuff only came around in the last few years. Western charts used to be just a bar chart. We used to have bar charts when we were kids. Look at this Look at this revisiting the 100-yard line. Look at this 100-yard line. 100 pips, right? 100 pips up, 100 pips down. Who's making money, people? The range traders. Think about it. Think about it. I have a buddy that drinks a lot of tequila, and he would say stuff. Think about it. Yeah, I've thought about it. You got to stop drinking. Buy stops here, you're filled, you're long. Sell stops up in here. Okay, this mechanical entries, right? Dumb trading. Dumb stuff makes money. Look at the resistance at the 100-yard line. Bottom becomes a top, but not so much. And then guess what happens? This top, this pivot, it comes back and revisits for a 100-pip run, 100-pip run. Oh, not quite. And where is it now? It's just below the 100. Who's not, like, got buy stops here, or they're long from here on the double bottom? And this is the auction thing. And I guess my auction, now that I look at it, I see that my auction theory is not really useful on these, like if I say, which I did say, if I'm going to buy here on this trap, this is actually a trap on a larger time frame. Think about these traps. 1 pip. Here's a trap. Here's a trap where, so the auction theory works better on this tight stuff where, see, here's the new high they're trying to take out, and see how they trap and then they pull back. Here too, if you have a sell limit right on that high, you're selling right on the edge. There's a trap, and then boosh. That's where all the money's made. It's not in Gartley's. It's not in Fibonacci's. You see that little wick? They come back and they grab that because they got to fuel this move up. Those are sell stops from the bulls, have their sell stops production. They feel that move. Here's kind of, so anything that's too big of a structure. So you always have to be reassessing what you're thinking. This flag here, whatever have you, this is about a 30 pip window. So you could have bracketed that with buy stops and sell stops and made a few pips. But think about these wicks as your entry. You want to get in on the wick. You don't want to have these elaborate things going on. It's just not, it's not going to work. And if you say you're going to backtest, this backtest is a complete joke. You cannot backtest anything. It doesn't matter because you can't backtest your emotions. You need to get the fuck in these markets on some level to feel yourself and what you're feeling. That's telling you right there who you are. Well, if you're scared, you're in too big. If you're not scared, well, maybe you're just drinking too much, right? But it's about getting in touch with how you feel. Now, I could drop down to the 1 hour, and you see this? Still a good entry on the 1 hour. What's the trade now? If you're not long, you got a buy limit down here. Is that going to be a winning trade? Who knows? Who cares? In my world, it's like this. I got a million orders in here. Like I got like buy limits all the way to like the outer limits. I mean, I'm not looking to look at this constant flirtation with the 100 pips here. This is a 1 hour. You got to keep getting in and out. Buy, dump, buy, dump. And he's not a scalper, so he's not that ambitious apparently. Oh, the euro's going up again. What a surprise. Euro's going to take out the high of the year here in about a couple minutes. So take a look at this. All right, this is happening right now, people. This is the high of the year on the euro dollar. I know Stapleton's waiting for 109 for his entry, but and that's the people that you're subscribing to, people that think like that. People that don't have a clue. Like, what do you think is going to happen when we hit 117 here? What do you think is going to happen? Jobs reports coming out. They're probably going to come up here and trap, and this will be a great place to sell for a slight pullback is this trap here. And look at this thing. Come on. I don't get it. How are these people missing this stuff? Look at that. It just took out the high of the month. Look at the weekly. This is the high of the year. How many pips are you from that? Right? How many pips? 3 pips? What's going to happen here? Sellers are coming in. Sell limits for the next 100 pips. Well, they're selling it right now. They've already trapped these guys. This is the weekly chart. They've trapped these. This is auction theory going back 3 days. See, man, auction theory is that they trap them here, right? You don't want to go too far back in the structure levels like this. Because look at, it's not a trap. Traps only happen in a very small time window. So my original entry there on New Zealand stopped out. It wouldn't matter to me though, because I don't have to do any analysis. I don't have to waste time doing these dumb Fibonacci's and outside returns and predicting, and no mention of trend on his video though. That's very fascinating. This time no mention of trend. Okay, he's almost done torturing us.
Start putting them together to see how you can best break down these price charts.
Break it down.
So, hope that was fun. I don't know. First time I really did a video like this, but again, I'm bored.
He's bored. So this is another thing. He's bored. So this is also big. He started out the video saying he was all pumped because he did something great in his life. So I noticed that this happens. You got to monitor yourself. I've had this problem. I get excited. Like, oh gosh, I just feel so good, and I got a new template, and I love the background color of my charts. To get overly ambitious and excited in the market can be really dangerous, because now you're going to start thinking, man, I'm ready to trade today. That may not be, like, you may just be going to get clobbered, right? Because now you're just too pumped. You're too confident, or so, you're just doing stuff because you're like, I feel good. I could take some risks today. I could stand up. I could stand getting it. And this is really about, like I said, this is if you're a person that weighs 550 pounds and you just lost 380 pounds and you're like, damn, I look good. Okay, you're probably going to gain it back if you're not comfortable being skinny, because if all of a sudden you draw attention, people go, you look good. Now, if your inner view of yourself, you have low self-esteem, if you have this inner view of yourself that you're a fat loser, you're going to gain the weight back to put yourself back in the comfort zone. So if you're making a bunch of money trading and you just made a bunch of money, there's a self-sabotage factor to bring yourself back to the comfort zone of being where you're at. Now, if you like your day job and you're trying to make the transition to be a full-time trader, I noticed when I was making that shift that part of me was going to miss the people that I deal with, and trading's a lonely gig. So the people that I deal with in my 3D, normal world of creating stuff and selling artwork and stuff like that, that I'm going to miss the people at my office, the water cooler or the coffee chit chat, and so subconsciously you may sabotage your trading so that you can bring yourself back to your day job, because in the end that your day job isn't about just making money, it's about a social environment. So trading being lonely can be a little bit like there's nobody to say, hey, what the fuck, like, look at this chart. Like, I mean, it's kind of that's why I do the videos, because it's my only chance to really kind of vent and also be critical of what the so-called chief strategist, I mean, this guy Akel Stokes, and like I said, probably the most, of course, ethical person in the world. That's not what makes it in trading. It's a different set of rules. Just like if you were going to be a drug dealer, or say you're going to join a gang and kill people to get, the initiation. Oh, you have to kill a couple people to make us. You have to prove that you're worthy, or we can trust you. That's what it's. That's what trading's like. It's you step out your comfort zone. not to say that trading's like joining a gang, but it is in a way, because you're totally going to be, you're going to, there's not a lot of people to talk to about it. And if you talk to people about it, they make, immediately, they're just like, well, I don't know anything about that. And if it involves money, then it might as well just be drug dealing too. So that's a problem. So, anyways, let me just finish his video here, and leave everybody can go about their business.
Board, we had a good win tonight for the U.S. men's national team in soccer. So I'm kind of on that soccer high right now, and just what.
So he's on a soccer high, and that's great. But when you bring this mentality into your trading, you notice the setup for failure here. That is, you get too ambitious about trading. Trading is boring. It's crude. It's for dumb people, and I say dumb people. I mean, it's for. If you're an analytical person and a perfectionist, you could be in serious trouble trading, because you can overthink the simplest things. Better to have a 5-year-old trade this stuff than a 50-year-old intellectual. I'm just saying, because and don't forget to subscribe. Well, I always forget. I should subscribe because I'm always coming here to check this out, but I guess part of me, just in principle, refuses to subscribe, because they've got enough subscribers, don't they? And how do they have, I don't know, I guess, like I said, these are, between him and Stapleton, they're good looking enough to be in Hollywood. So I guess the attraction is nobody wants to see some ugly, tooth missing, uncombed hair guy tell you how to make money in the market. Nobody's going to believe it. So, unfortunately, it's the old cliche. All these cliches they're cliches for a reason, right? People are attracted to people that are dressed up like if you're wearing a suit and tie. Somehow, I believe what you're saying more than if you're dressed up in overalls and you got a corncob pipe. I don't know why that is, but that's just the bias. I guess the social biases that people have. So I'm just saying that trading, from a mechanical standpoint, always think about what a robot might be thinking. And of course, the robots are programmed by people. There is no this. And if I hear the word market manipulation one more time, I'm just going to die. I mean, of course the markets are manipulated. And if you look up at the definition, it means that the markets it means movement, right? The markets are moving. The idea that, they're manipulating it. Yeah, how about if you're winning and they're manipulating it in your direction? How you feel about it? Oh, I like it then. Stupid. More dumbness.
To give you guys something pretty cool to look at. Let me know what you think. I will see you.
And that's what I've done. I've let you know what I think. I think it's ridiculous, but I love you to death.